Hi, everybody. You're listening to the Spin Market Report on the Spin Market Podcast Network, where real stories meet real impact. Our podcast network has thousands of local and regional listeners tuning in each week. That means businesses are getting heard and communities are staying connected. Did you want to get your brand in front of a highly engaged audience? Contact Spin Market today at www.spinmarket.com for more information. Now let's get into the episode.
It's the Spin Market Report. Here's your host, Peter Stockdale.
Yay, we are back. It's Marketing Monday. It's always Marketing Monday.
Always Marketing Monday.
So we got the Spin Market Report. This is a good one. This is going to be a great one. Adam Heynen's here. You are the, GM of the Chick-fil-A in town here? What's your official title?
So my official title is owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Fort Dodge.
Awesome. Owner-operator.
Owner-operator.
Even better than
double
GM.
duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's even better than a general manager.
That's right.
That's super cool. So I know this is like something that when you guys came to town,
Oh, it was the buzz everywhere.
freaked out. I mean,
Yes.
we had somebody that's in the office here that works with Dawn, the CPA that has an office in here. It's her coworker, her intern that's now her coworker. She was like, I was the sixth person in the door. It's the greatest thing ever. And it's like, so people here love Chick-fil-A. I mean, we've eaten it many times for lunch. So let's kind of talk about it a little bit. How do they go about getting a store approved in Fort Dodge? Were you in on the conversation, or is that like a corporate only thing, or how does that work?
Yeah, great question. It's actually not my place to be in part of that conversation. I get pulled along after the digging actually started for Fort Dodge.
Oh, cool.
So those are things that happen beyond me. And Chick-fil-A then starts looking for an operator. And that's when I got the conversation. Like, I'd love to be involved with this Chick-fil-A in Fort Dodge.
So they did all the research to make sure that it was a good place.
Exactly.
For them to
Exactly.
put a new-
And from my perspective, it's a great location. Just a busy intersection. We're in the hub of the community. And just very thankful for the spot they did select.
Good.
I think we've talked about it, but where are you located? I mean, everybody knows, but where are you located at in Fort Dodge?
Yeah, so if there's that main intersection, I mean, our address is 2818 2nd Avenue South, but we are right across the street from Aldi, Target, and Hy-Vee.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, everybody knows where those locations are.
Four-way stop.
Oh, that's awesome. So when you kind of got the green light to be the owner-operator, were there any challenges that you faced going into this? Was it, was it tough getting people to apply? I don't know. Was it, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't tough getting the community behind you because everybody loved it. I mean, people were coming from Humboldt and, I mean, you name it. They were coming from all over the place just to see you. But what challenges did you face?
Yeah, we were really blessed, just like you're saying, from the support from the community and also from a talent aspect, a lot of applicants. I say the challenge that a lot of Chick-fil-A's in a newer community like Fort Dodge struggle with is just traffic management.
Okay.
So our goal was to make sure that intersection did not get backed up.
Nice.
So a lot of that was making sure that we were just operationally fast. The second piece is just building relationships with the community, our neighbors, to make sure that we were great to them as well by providing them with some free sandwiches, to make sure that they're like, hey, maybe you're adding a little traffic to our day, but we're still excited because we get some free food out of this.
Absolutely.
In addition, just connecting with the police to make sure that if we did have any concerns with traffic, we had someone to quickly get in a hold of and make sure that we were not being a nuisance.
Yeah, that's awesome because I know that area of town is very, very busy around lunchtime, and occasionally, and I'm not going to point fingers at who because it's a few places. Sometimes the drive-through lanes kind of go out into the turn lanes, and it's like,
Yes.
So kudos to you guys for thinking of that ahead of time. Where it's like, how can we build this in a way where we can get people in off the street and then around into the drive-through lane? I mean, I'm sure that was something you and or corporate had thought about ahead of time when you were looking at the locations. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I spent a lot of my own personal time outside just connecting, making sure that drive-through continued to move, and making sure it's a top priority for our store.
So how long have you worked with Chick-fil-A then before this?
Yeah, so I worked for Chick-fil-A for a total of 3.5 years before this time frame. First, I worked at the Coral Ridge Mall near Iowa City as a team member.
I've been down there to that one a bunch, so I'm likely run into you once in my past.
And then I was only there for a short time frame, and a lot of my job, I was actually a graduate student during that time frame at the University of Iowa. Then after I transitioned to Chick-fil-A as kind of my career, I then worked as the director at the Rochester, Minnesota Chick-fil-A, and then the senior director. And that was kind of my stepping stone to then apply to be an owner-operator and get here to Fort Dodge.
That's really cool. That's kind of cool how you I mean, only 3.5 years. You went up, you know, I mean, you must have worked hard, obviously, like worked your way up to that. Cause that's not just something, you know, most people working there 3.5 years don't have that opportunity. So
Yeah. I have a unique story and I can share a little bit.
Oh, please do. People love to hear that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I moved to Iowa City after graduating from college with a biology degree. And you're probably thinking, how did that get chicken involved? But there is some biology to that.
Yes, I was going to say, I'm sure there is.
So then I went to graduate school at the University of Iowa for physician assistant studies. And my introduction to Chick-fil-A was actually when my wife was looking for jobs. I said, hey, you should apply for that Chick-fil-A HR director position at the Chick-fil-A at the Coal Ridge Mall. She tossed around the idea, but finally she landed on like, yeah, I'm going to apply for this. And I'm going to start working there as she got offered the job. So then she kind of fell in love with the business while I was going to graduate school at the University of Iowa. And I found myself working there when they were looking for help on, you know, Black Friday, Christmas, when all the college students would leave and they're looking for employees. And then I would be off on break. So I'd be like, sure, I'll help out. I'll hand out some food. I'll wipe down trays. I'll take some orders. And it was just a really fun experience.
To see how the place is run, everything from the ground all the way up.
Oh yeah. I got to clean some tiles, just do all the work of a team member, and just got to kind of fall in love with the brand. So that was actually not when I started working officially full-time for Chick-fil-A. After that, I graduated from the University of Iowa and I got a job at the Mayo Clinic at Rochester, Minnesota. So I started working there as a physician assistant, but after about a year, I made a significant life change to start working in the fast food industry. And a lot of that was out of passion for people. So I then transitioned working as a director at the Chick-fil-A in Rochester, Minnesota, where my wife was also working. We made some, obviously, like it was a big life change for us, a lot of hard conversations with, first of all, my wife explaining, hey, I think it's a good idea for me to change from my great career at Mayo Clinic to fast food.
I don't mean to laugh, but that's,
no, it's fine.
You're bringing up a great point. It's like I work at one of the renowned medical places in the entire Midwest, if not the U.S., and you're gonna go sling chicken, which is awesome. I mean, that definitely has something to say about the culture at Chick-fil-A.
And that's what drew me in, was the stories that my wife Jill brought home. That I was like, man, she's having a greater impact on people's lives, specifically the team members that she interacted with, than I personally felt. A lot of it was feeling, right, that I felt like I was having it in the setting of Mayo Clinic as a physician assistant. And I was looking for a job where I would continue to grow myself so that I could impact people like she was impacting people. So that's where that big shift came into my life, and far too many podcasts listened to by me where I was like, man, there is something more that I personally am not doing in my personal life, that I'm like, in my career, I want to have a greater impact than I currently am. And I want a job that supports that, and that is driving towards my greater manhood, my greater fatherhood, my greater husbandhood. And that's what I wanted out of my career and out of my job. And that's where I landed at Chick-fil-A, is kind of that starting point, and it just took off from there.
That's really admirable, isn't it? I mean, that's for somebody to put that ahead of everything else.
Yeah.
On there, to really be thinking about what good you can do and how you could impact other people. I love it.
And I hate to be the one that be like bring money into this, but it appears that, you know, I'm assuming it's comparable, but like this is something where it's, you know, like you said, you're looking at working at a medical field, and then it's like, well, now I'm going to go work at any fast food place, really. You know, it's admirable to know that this was a culture decision and not just like they're offering me more money, so I'm going where the money's at. You wanted to build yourself as a human and as a person, and as, you know, like you said, father, husband, etc., to bring this joy to your life in a way that maybe this other position didn't offer to you, which is, I think that's something a lot of people wrestle with, you know, with their jobs or just with their purpose in life. You know, you go 20, 30 years down the road and you're like, what am I kind of doing here? You know, like I feel like a lot of us go through that in some aspect. I mean, we were even discussing that before we hit the record button with all of us. So let's kind of shift gears here though, because I mean, that's a great story, honestly. I love that story.
That's fabulous. Says so much about the potential that you are going to be bringing to our community.
Absolutely. So let's talk about opening the Chick-fil-A. I know there was a soft open. We can kind of touch on that a little bit, but like, what was the grand opening like?
Yeah, it was an exciting time. It was a very exciting time for our family, for the community, for our team, and a lot of just energy and support goes into that. Just from a Chick-fil-A Inc. standpoint, where they send a support team, a support staff. We're hiring a large amount of people that are working their first Chick-fil-A shift.
Oh yeah.
And we're just kind of bringing all these people together and hoping that we have a great experience for our guests that come in for the first time experiencing a Chick-fil-A sandwich. I remember like social media wise, before you even opened, I remember seeing a lot of that culture already with your team members. They're coming together and just having like fun and making social media posts. I think that was one of my favorite things about when you guys, right before you guys opened, I was like, oh, they're not even open. They're posting on social media with people that are working there and they're training and learning how to do all this stuff. It was really kind of cool, again, showing off the culture of the environment. For sure. It's a very just busy, exciting time.
Yeah.
Well, I was at the ambassador ribbon cutting, and you topped any ribbon cutting that we had been to for a long time. Everybody was talking about it. It wasn't just the free food that you
that
handed out.
helps. That helps, right?
But everybody was talking about how talking to you, the staff, everything. There was such a great feeling of that you were so thrilled to be opening and being in Fort Dodge, and you were communicating that to all the ambassadors. It was the buzz from everywhere afterwards.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to just our specific family, my wife and I. Like, it is a huge blessing to open up a Chick-fil-A, and it's also a huge blessing to be in Iowa, in Fort Dodge, Iowa, being from Sheldon, Iowa. It just feels like the same culture, same community that we experienced growing up, and it's just a dream of ours to have this opportunity in a town like Fort Dodge.
That's awesome. The positivity. You weren't just like somebody where they were like, you're a number on a list and you have to go run this store. There was everybody from all angles was happy about this. And I think that's really kind of cool. How about biggest surprises? You open the doors, everything I'm assuming runs pretty smooth, but were there any big surprises? Did you expect the demand that was there or the lemonade machine broke? I don't know. What were the big surprises that you ran into?
Thankfully, no equipment went down on day one.
Sweet.
Which is, again, thanks to our just construction team, design team for pulling that all together too. I would say just the biggest win was, I think we already talked about a little bit about the culture just started off from that moment. And it goes back to our hiring. It goes back to the people that we look to bring on our leadership team. Just to start that culture off from day one where it felt great. And just going back to our team, they have done a great job of just ensuring that the Chick-fil-A culture, which isn't in Fort Dodge, we're the first Chick-fil-A in Fort Dodge, and the nearest one is Ames, Ankeny, Des Moines, is coming to Fort Dodge, and they do a great job of just representing our brand and representing just the culture that we want to provide here at Chick-fil-A.
Well, you started the buzz when you started bringing in the truck.
Yeah.
That was what's Chick-fil-A doing? Are they coming to town? Are they testing us out? I mean, that was you heard it all the time because I think at Chemna Motor you were parked there a lot.
And that was one of the operators out of Des Moines. He represented kind of the Des Moines area Chick-fil-A food truck and was able to get just people excited about it. And we did that the same thing in Rochester, and it is a great tool. Mm-hmm. Great marketing tool to get people excited about a brand that possibly could come to their communities.
Right. Yeah, I think that's fun because I remember the truck has come. I live in Humboldt. It has come to Humboldt before, and that's one of the things where nobody asks questions. My mom just like drops off a chicken sandwich. She's just like, "Here's a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. I know you want one," and it's like, "Well, of course I do." I'll gobble this thing down. But let's kind of talk about some of the stuff you got at Chick-fil-A because you said the closest one is in Ankeny or Ames or Des Moines, in that kind of area. But let's say somebody's never been down to a Chick-fil-A. Maybe they haven't even been to the one here in town. What's something that you have at what is at Chick-fil-A that they need to come try? There's the obvious stuff. It's obviously chicken, but like what are the things, what are the hot button items that people are coming in getting?
Yeah, I would say it just starts with our Chick-fil-A sandwich, which is toasted bun with 2 pickles on it, 2 pickles.
And how did we come up with 2 pickles?
Yeah, that goes back to Truett Cathy when he created the Chick-fil-A sandwich, the first chicken sandwich. It just had that right amount of kick, that right amount of flavor that he thought was the correct number of pickles on it.
3 was too many and 1 was not enough, but 2 just had that.
Just that right amount, and just so most bites had a piece of pickle in it when you bite into it.
Love it.
And then just the waffle fries, I think, are fantastic, especially dipped in our Chick-fil-A sauce. So I always encourage guests that have never had Chick-fil-A to stick to the number one, which is the Chick-fil-A sandwich, waffle fries, and then just make sure you at least try the Chick-fil-A sauce. A lot of people love their ketchup and their mayo, but Chick-fil-A sauce is worth the dip.
You know, it's fun. That's exactly the first thing I ever got at a Chick-fil-A. And it was at that Coral Ridge Mall location too. So, yes, try that. Absolutely. If you like pickles, have them toss a couple extra pickles on there. That's kind of my route I've gone through. So, I mean, you find what you like when you kind of go to these places a few times. But what about, this is something maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't have any of these, but seasonal or location specific items. Is that something that exists at Chick-fil-A or not?
Seasonal, yes. So right now we're doing the peach milkshake, which, going back to our roots, is from Atlanta, Georgia, and a lot of that comes from a lot of Southern food, and peaches are obviously popular in Georgia. So we're doing the peach milkshake right now, and then we'll have another seasonal item this winter.
Okay, so here's another kind of item. What winter seasonal item? You probably can't tell what it is quite yet.
I cannot share that information.
Ooh, so you're gonna have to go check back in with Chick-fil-A. This is something else I've seen online. You see people and they're like, do this to your Chick-fil-A sandwich. It's the best. And people are like either combining sauces and putting it on there, or putting the chicken inside the bag without the bun and then making like some sort of buffalo. Or have you seen people doing this, or is this an actual thing that is like, I mean, you see it online, you're like, everyone must be doing it, but are they actually doing it?
Not super common at our Chick-fil-A. I'm also not super fluent on TikTok or social media, so I can't speak to all the combos or combinations. One thing that I like to do, and I think it might be from TikTok, don't quote me on that, is the kale crunch, which isn't a super common side, and then adding the grilled nuggets with some buffalo sauce is very good. Has anybody tried that?
Didn't we? Yeah, I was gonna say we had somebody in the office here doing that. Producer Mackenzie says yes.
Okay, sounds good. I enjoy it, but again, I can't speak to a lot of things. I like to also dip my nuggets in ranch and buffalo sauce.
Ooh, yes.
I'd recommend that one.
Buffalo ranch. I love that. I mean, I heard today that ranch dressing is like the Midwest buffalo sauce anyways. So
good on everything.
Yeah. So what about something that's at Chick-fil-A that people might not know about, like how it operates, or like what's something really cool about Chick-fil-A that maybe if I'm just going through the drive-thru, I'm going to miss?
Yeah. I think it goes back to our food. A lot of it is handmade. So we do serve breakfast, is I think a lot of, not a misconception, just not well known that we serve breakfast. And our biscuits are handmade every morning. And then we fillet our fillets every day. So it's just cool. A operation that is fresh, and our fruit cups are diced every day as well.
Wow.
So that's okay. Maybe this is ignorance on my part. I guess I just thought somebody gave you chicken and you just fried it. Like you guys are actually making the chicken sandwiches there.
Yeah. So we are doing the whole production from filleting it to putting on the coater to then putting it in the fryer. So it's a time consuming production of that. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We're doing it at a high volume also.
That's so cool. So
that adds a special touch.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can tell the difference. Same way with the biscuits, making them instead of popping the container over the corner of the counter and going. I mean, what a difference.
Yeah, the biscuits, actually, you picked some up and brought them here. I don't know if that was at the soft opening or what it was.
It was a soft opening.
Oh, yeah.
But you had brought
I meant the ambassador. The ribbon cutting,
Yeah, you had brought some here, and I was like, man, I didn't know they had biscuits. And I was like, these are really good. So, yeah, it makes sense that you guys are making them fresh there for sure. How about team members? How many people do you employ, like locally? I mean, like, what was the impact of bringing in people? Do you have like, I guess I don't even know how many people it would take to run a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, somewhere between 80 and 100 is kind of where we stand.
Wow. Whoa, cool.
Depending on seasonality, and it's just a great opportunity, especially for individuals that are looking for a part-time job, to get their foot in the door, start a career with us, and hopefully develop themselves at our Chick-fil-A in Fort Dodge to become a leader in the community.
Awesome. So I know that you guys were represented at Buster's Bash. You guys had a tent out here. You were doing samples of the cookies, and then I believe it was either lemonade or iced tea or both.
Both, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So what are other things you guys are doing to get the word out to the community? Like I said, your guys' social media, I noticed that before you even opened. It's awesome. I like it. You know, like that's something everybody's on social media all the time anyways. So like that's something I just ran across naturally on mine. So what are some things you're doing to kind of get some outreach into the community?
Yeah, and going back to our outreach, I think the one cool event that's going on right now is called Code Moo, and this is a national push by Chick-fil-A. And that push is to get people excited about the cow. And you might be wondering, what does the cow have to do with a chicken sandwich? So going back in time, it's really getting the cows to suggest go eat chicken instead of the cows.
And they can't spell good.
And they can't spell good either. So they are pushing Code Moo. So this is kind of a month-long excitement about the Chick-fil-A app, about a game called Code Moo, where you can play as a character and you can earn some food as the prize of completing the game. So we also...
No beef allowed.
No beef allowed. No beef. And as a local Chick-fil-A Fort Dodge, we are just doing some events in the next few Thursdays, such as cornhole, and also crafting a cow as well that are going on. So it's just some excitement that we're trying to brew up, along with the national media and also with our just local media as well.
Well, with the state fair coming around the corner.
Yes.
How about a butter?
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A butter cow? That'd be
Chick-fil-A
awesome.
That would be awesome.
All right, like you're high enough up. Run it up the flagpole and see what happens. Oh man, that just makes me think. So you said there's a game for this.
Yes,
and
there
you can
is.
win
Free food
Okay,
on the Chick-fil-A app.
The rest
On the
of the day
Chick-fil-A
is
app.
shot. Sorry, Cheryl.
Yeah.
The rest of the day is ruined. I'm gonna get me some Chick-fil-A food out of this game. That's so cool. Like I think that's one of the coolest things though. Is like you guys had kind of like partnered up with the Growth Alliance a little bit. They had that what did you call it? Wasn't the soft opening.
It was the ambassador ribbon cutting.
The ribbon cutting for that, and that was something that's like, this is really kind of cool. You guys are like, it's not like you just moved to town, you're a big corporation, Chick-fil-A, there's Chick-fil-A's everywhere, whatever. I'm just speaking in hyperbole, but like you came into town and we're just like, all right, we're feet first, we're jumping right into a community aspect. It's not, you weren't just a company that came to town and you're like, all right, now let's make chicken and that's the end of the story. You guys really kind of jumped into this. So community events, sponsorships, fundraisers, how does all that work? Do you guys do fundraisers for?
Yeah, we do. It kind of started with the first 100 guests, which is a tradition of Chick-fil-A grand opening experience. So we give a group, and we selected internally as the Chick-fil-A leadership team in Fort Dodge, the middle school here in Fort Dodge, to give the staff there, they call them first 100 cards. So then they can use those throughout the year to redeem them as a Chick-fil-A sandwich or other entrees on our menu. And that was going back to our vision, which is to inspire future generations here in Fort Dodge. And we thought the teachers would be a great place to just put those sandwiches into their hands, into their families, so that they feel cared for and feel invested into.
Is that something that is like company-wide at Chick-fil-A, like community involvement and things like that?
It's obviously encouraged just based on our mission statement as an organization, which is remarkable care. And we wanted to make sure that we did that in a unique way here at Fort Dodge. So that's where it went back to inspiring future leaders here in Fort Dodge. And that's where we wanted to put just those sandwiches, our donations, really focused on those groups of people.
How about community feedback? As you've been open here a few months, people are coming through. I'm sure you've had people commenting on your social media or whatever it is, but what kind of feedback have you gotten from the community for opening a Chick-fil-A here in town?
Yeah, we've had some great feedback. I think the amount of people that came to me and were like, oh, we are so thankful you came. We've been praying for this. We've been hoping for this. We've been just begging for a Chick-fil-A here in Fort Dodge has been remarkable. And we just are very thankful. That was the reception. And yeah, we just had some really fun interactions with some of our guests too, of like the people that show up every day. And I won't put them on the spot and put their name out there, but they've been just really fun to build relationships with and to have that relationship with our team as well. So that you get to know our guests by name is really special.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not different than any other company or any other business. You have your regulars. That's awesome. And I mean, I also agree. I'm glad that you have a Chick-fil-A here in Fort Dodge now, because it's not like I did it a lot, but there were occasions where I would like tailor a trip to like Des Moines or Ames or something like that, almost literally just around going to Chick-fil-A. It's like, well, I'm going down, I'm going to do XYZ, but I'm getting Chick-fil-A. That's the one thing that's for sure on this trip, and it's kind of funny that's how that works. I'm sure there were a lot of other people semi-local that were doing that, or like we were talking about the food trucks earlier. When the food truck comes to town, I bet there were people that were stocking up.
Oh yeah. People would stock up.
That's awesome. That's so fun. So what about trends? Have Have you noticed any trends, like what people are loving about the new store, or is there something that you guys are doing slightly different there that people are just saying, like, I've been to 20 Chick-fil-A's, this one's the best because of this, or is there anything like that that's kind of going on?
Yeah, I would say kind of it starts with the look of our building. We try and care for the landscaping well, and people just have given us a lot of feedback that they appreciate the care that we put into our flowers and to just the external appearance of the building. And they also just appreciate the small things like a canopy over our drive-through. We got a lot of questions right away, like, what is that? So a lot of questions answered for there. Then a second piece about the exterior is that we have a door instead of a window, so our team members can run out to quickly get you your food versus having to wait for the car in front of you.
Oh, yeah. The awning is great. I will say that. I cannot tell you how many times I've been somewhere through a fast food place, and it's like they have an awning, but it's about a quarter of the size of my car. It sticks out about 2 feet from the building, and you're just getting rained on the whole time. It doesn't help at all. It's why have an awning at that point? But yeah, you guys have one over the entire ordering area. So even it's not just for the people driving through, it's even for the team members.
Exactly.
Brilliant. I love it. And so you're thinking about this not just from one aspect, and I think that's also something very important. This is a marketing podcast. We are a marketing company, not just to think about what's going to benefit you, but what will benefit somebody else, and that will actually in turn benefit you as well. And that's just, I don't know, that's just business.
Yeah, exactly. Cared for people, which are our team members, are typically going to care more for the guest that's in front of them.
I love that.
Well, remember on one of our previous podcasts, we talked about marketing and customer service as part of marketing and how important that plays into it. Because you could do something wrong, but if you have great customer service, they totally forgot that anything happened.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that's where I love Chick-fil-A for its operational excellence focus. And we're going to make mistakes, obviously, but we can recover those guests. We can take care of them well in those moments. And what we want to protect is just to make sure that our experience at our Chick-fil-A in Fort Dodge is with great hospitality and great tasting food. And a lot of that marketing will take care of itself, hopefully over time, where people are like, man, have you been to Chick-fil-A in Fort Dodge? It's amazing. And that's just kind of the push we want to make sure in these first few years about running this Chick-fil-A, it never gets lost in those moments.
Well, I will say, you just mentioned it, and I never really thought about it until now. Like, I've never been to, not just this Chick-fil-A, but even all of them. So it's company-wide type thing, but like, I've never been to one and been like, these fries were refried, or like this chicken sandwich has obviously been there for XYZ. Everything has always been fresh, and it's unheard of almost in a fast food chain. I'm almost hesitant to call it fast food.
We like the word quick service.
Yeah.
Is it an opportunity just because fast food sometimes has a negative connotation, but we are a quick service restaurant. We need to make sure it is quick. And we don't want to lose that fast piece of it and make sure that it is still remarkable at the same time. And it's hard to juggle all those balls at the same time, but we try our best.
So is there anything like, I guess that either customers that have already been there or people that haven't been there, is there something you like want to help spread the word about or want them to know, or something about Chick-fil-A, maybe just this Fort Dodge location that you're like, this is something that we're going to hang our hat on, and I would love the community to kind of know this. Is there anything like that you have that, this is just as good an avenue as any to kind of get that word out there?
I think one thing we talked about is that we have breakfast from 6:30 to 10:30. Then also we do freshly make a lot of our products. And I know we did already talk about that, but I just want to reiterate, like, our biscuits are handmade every day, and I don't want that to get lost. Like we talked about, it's a quick service, fast service, and those things are hard to do when you're trying to serve the guest quickly, but we do prioritize those things as great tasting food.
Maybe I'm wrong, but do I recall hearing that you were originally going to open at 7 and then you decided 6:30 instead because of some factors or whatever, or was that
news to me? But maybe it was a part of the decision making. I'm not sure.
I guess I heard that it was going to be 7 and someone was just like, well, I wish it was 6:30 so I could get something on the way to work. Like, I swear I heard that somewhere. So maybe it is, maybe it's not, but maybe that's just why it's 6:30 and not,
Yeah, we kind of landed on 6:30 in hopes that you could still serve those guests who are going to work at like 7 o'clock at the hospital per chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm not. But
it was a good idea, no matter what.
Exactly.
It's working.
Yeah. So what about long-term goals? Is there long-term goals for the location? Do you have anything you're kind of working towards while you're making all the chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes back to, again, it starts, we do have to serve a great product. We have to treat our guests with great hospitality. But for me, there's a purpose behind what I do. And that purpose is to inspire future generations. And that's where, for me, what's priority is in 5, 10, 15 years to hopefully look back and see the people that have come through our restaurant as team members and grown themselves, improved themselves in some way or another, and to have those stories kind of in my arsenal, because that's what fuels my fire. And that's what gets me excited. And I love our product. I love a chicken sandwich. I love our waffle fries. I love the competition of running a business. But the thing that I go back to, the thing that makes it all worth it, is the people's lives that we impact and hopefully help them grow and to become.
Yeah, that's even the customers, like you were mentioning earlier. You got your regulars that you already know who the regulars are, and it's like you're going to get to see these people as you're here 5, 10, 15 years. You're going to get to see these people, grow and change and become different people throughout the years too. And that's something that's also got to be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it's great to be a part of people's lives from the team member side, but also from the guest side, and just walk with them through some difficult things. In my medical career actually helped me in those things of like having hard conversations, of walking with people through tough diagnosis, those sort of things, and be able to support and hear them has been a fun combo for me to bring into this role.
Boy, this is like the perfect storm for you too, because like you started at the bottom, worked your way all the way up to the top. You've had another job that was very hospitality oriented. Soft skills were a must in your old job, and all of that has helped you, I'm sure, get to where you are now. And not only that, but like excel at it as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I didn't bring this up, but a lot of my time was spent in the emergency room. And in the emergency room, you're often putting out fires. And in the restaurant world, on the day-to-day operations, you're often putting out fires.
Not literally,
thankfully. In either role, not literally.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is, how do I solve a problem so I can focus on the next problem? How do I put out this fire so I can focus on the next fire? And a lot of it is bottlenecks, systems, processes that we put in place, so hopefully those things don't happen in the future as well.
Nice. I love that too. I never really even thought about it like that either, because you came from a place where, especially in the ER, like nobody in the ER is really happy to be there.
Sadly, no.
So you absolutely have to have this like mindset of positivity that cannot be corrupted by the people around you, or like even, the people you're serving, because we've all been to the ER for one reason or another, broken arm, whatever it happens to be. And it's just like, this isn't any fun. But then, when you run into people like you said, that are like positive and they're helping you create this good experience that comes out of something that possibly was negative to start out with, that's a home run.
Yeah. And it's not an easy thing to do. And the fast food world can be tough environment at times, where guests mistreat you, team members are tough to work with, and how you manage those soft skills and those honestly emotional conversations is important to the success of your business. It also drives the culture of your business as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. All right. I think we're getting close to the end here. I've only got a couple more questions left. Obvious questions. You've already answered one of them. I was going to say, what's the favorite sauce? And it was ranch and buffalo. But what's your go-to Chick-fil-A order? You said you recommend everybody kind of try the number one at first, but is there something that this is my order?
Yeah, great question. It's a great question because I love the sandwich, and I eat the spicy sandwich. I used to eat it almost every day for about a year straight. Then I had to switch it up just a little bit, but yeah, I went with the spicy sandwich, waffle fries, and a cookie, and I didn't get sick of it. I chose to diversify my menu items every once in a while to make sure I have a well-nutritioned diet.
Expand your chicken
exactly.
opportunities.
It's fun because I was, like I said, I tried the number one first. You got to start with the original, but I'm a spicy chicken guy, so I went to the spicy chicken, and it was just every time, always spicy chicken. Sometimes maybe just two. Maybe I'll skip the waffle fries and get two chicken, whatever it happens to be. And like you said, every now and then it's just like, we're going to curveball. We're gonna do the grilled one, or like, or we're doing a curveball. We're just going back to the original because nothing beats the original,
That's
Right. Like, so I do have to say I agree with that 100%. And I've eaten so many spicy chicken sandwiches, and like you said, like I didn't eat them every day for a year, but I've eaten a lot of them, and I've never gotten tired of them.
I have not either. I should say every day but Sundays. I should clarify.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. Oh man. So special sauce, obviously. Are you a Chick-fil-A sauce fan? Is that something? Is that something the very first one, was that the one that you were just like, all right, we got to do everything's got to be in the special sauce to try it out? Or
I would say I love Chick-fil-A sauce, specific Chick-fil-A sauce, but I love the ranch. I love our ranch. And I usually will do the spicy sandwich with waffle fries with three ranch sauce packets.
that's awesome.
So it's a lot of ranch. It is a lot of ranch.
But I
a
will
lot of dip in there.
Yes, but I will say we actually did make something here at work, and we had some leftover Chick-fil-A ranch, and we used that as the ranch on it. And I was like, this is really good, So
It works. Salads, whatever it is.
yeah, it's awesome. So let's kind of push this down to the end here. If somebody's considering joining your team, if they're listening to this and they're like, Adam sounds like a great guy, I'd like to go work for him. I already like Chick-fil-A. I was already thinking about it. I listened to this. Adam sounds cool. What do you want them to know about Chick-fil-A or your store, or like how to contact you, or how to get involved if they want to, maybe come work for you?
Yes, they can apply on Indeed.com. It's kind of our main hub to send applicants to. But going back to it, we are looking for people that fit in our culture. And for our culture, it goes back to our vision and values. And I talked a little bit about our vision, which is to inspire future generations with remarkable care. And we are looking for people that are willing to grow and learn with us and be a part of an organization that's growing and learning and trying to better themselves daily. We are a quick service restaurant, but it really goes back to people that are willing to lead themselves and grow themselves.
You're not only inspiring individuals, like, this is going to sound funny, but you're inspiring other companies. I don't know how many companies have come out with something that is supposed to be like the competition for the Chick-fil-A sandwich, and then you go try one and you're like, come on, like, what are we doing? Nothing against these other companies, but it's like, of course, like, this is exactly the same thing. It's a chicken sandwich on a doodad with the pickles, and it's like, you just copied that is paramount to saying, like, this is how much you guys are changing the culture of not just working there, but like in your industry, you're changing the industry. And that's, I always thought that was kind of cool, because, what is it, like the last 5 years, it really kind of started ramping up. Every place was just like, well, we got one too. And it's like, it's not the same though.
Yeah, and it's a great problem, right? Where people are trying to imitate or copy you for
competition, or
exactly.
Copying you is one of the best ways to show your enthusiasm for your product, because they copied it.
Exactly, and that's what we're thankful for, is that brands are trying to keep up with us, right? Yeah. As we continue to push the boundary of what's great hospitality and what's great tasting food.
That's so cool. All right, so we're getting close to the end of this here. I usually ask everybody the same question. Everybody answers it a little different because it's just so open-ended. But can you name a time in your life where marketing impacted you? It could be at Chick-fil-A when you were working there. It could be, when you're up in Rochester. But is there a time where marketing impacted you and you didn't know it until afterwards? And again, that could be watching TV late at night, driving in your car, or listening to the radio, whatever it is.
Yeah, the thing that comes to mind is our food truck out of Rochester, Minnesota. It was a walking, driving billboard. Yeah. And the impact of us just driving around in the community, going to location was huge. The amount of calls we would get, like, hey, can your food truck come to this? Can your food truck come to that? And we're not doing any actual marketing besides driving around, but it was just awesome to see how such a simple thing had such a great and positive return for us.
That's awesome. So you're not only just bringing the stuff to them, but people would see them driving by. It's like, well, wait, are they going to pull in here? No, they kept driving, and they call you up
exactly.
like, hey, turn that truck around and bring it over here. Truck wraps, they work.
They do.
They do work.
We do truck wraps.
And we do truck wraps here. So if you guys need any help designing them, we can help you out. But that is really kind of cool, to know that impacted it that way. And I mean, same thing too. Like if I'm driving and I saw before Chick-fil-A was in town, if I saw the Chick-fil-A truck somewhere, it's just like, okay, I gotta make a U-turn here somewhere, go back over there. So it does make a lot of sense. That's really kind of cool. As we close this out, is there anything that we didn't discuss in here, either about Chick-fil-A, the culture, the company, anything? Is there anything we didn't discuss that you kind of want to leave everybody with on the way out the door?
No, I just like to leave with kind of our goal, again, as a Chick-fil-A organization, which is to inspire future generations. And if you're looking to be a part of that or want to support that, we encourage you to apply on Indeed.com. But we're also just looking forward to some of the events coming up with Code Moo in the next month.
That's so cool. I'm downloading the app as soon as we're done with this. The
cool.
day is ruined. Oh man, this is so cool. Adam, thank you very much for joining us. Like I said, I know you're busy. You were out doing meetings and other stuff before you even came here, and you had to come back into town to do this. So thank you very much for taking some time out of your day to come talk to us. And I want to say, tell your wife thank you for stopping by Buster's Bash and doing
that
an
was
interview
wonderful.
there
Our
too.
pleasure.
And here's Buster.
That is Buster.
That is Buster. And Buster is very special, and he wants to get you the best luck ever. So we always like to have our guest rub his head, and it keeps getting shinier and shinier to get more good luck on there. But
That's
yes,
awesome.
that's Buster.
Thank you, Buster.
Yes, thank you, Adam. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
My pleasure.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.